The true story of Yaya Kimpa Mvita, narrated by an African called Sedrebass motivation. The great Congo prophetess, Mbikudi, Yaya Kimpa Mvita, was born in 1685 in present-day Angola, Kingdom of Congo, which included Gabon, Angola, Republic of Congo, and Democratic of Congo. She was initiated into the Great Congo spirituality at the age of 12 in a forest. The ancestral spirit ordered her to be called Kimpa Mvita, her birth name, instead of Dona Beatriz, the colonial name, and it was prophesied, "In the future, you will carry out the great work of Mfumu Zaka Yenge." In 1482, the Portuguese arrived in the Mwene Congodom via Mpinda in Soyo. Congo society quickly became divided between the supporters of Jinga Mbemba, who advocated for Christian baptism and all that entailed, such as adopting Portuguese names instead of Congo ones, replacing Congo statuettes with Christian figures, crosses, and images of the Virgin Mary, praying to Christian saints while abandoning Congo ancestors, and replacing Kikongo with Portuguese and the supporters of Mpanzu Dzinga, who opposed Christian baptism. Both men were sons of the Mane Congo, Portugal spelling, Mane Congo, king, Kikongo spelling, Dzinga Kuvu. Indeed, following the Portuguese arrival at the port of Soyo, the Mwene Congo believed that the Christianity brought by these priests would benefit his people, as it would allow them to trade with foreigners and discover things that did not previously exist in their own land, specifically the manufacturing of ships, firearms, and so on. Unfortunately, the Portuguese had a different objective. The Bible was merely a diversion. Consequently, Mwene Congo and many Congo people were baptized, including Yaya Kimpa Mvita, who took the name Dona Beatriz. Things soon took a turn for the worse. The Portuguese cut Luanda off from the influence of Mbanza Congo, the capital, established their own base there, and transformed Luanda into a Portuguese city. Gradually, they seized other territories such as Musulu, Ndongo, Matamba, and Kisama, all of which would eventually become modern-day Angola. Thus, on the 29th of October 1665, in an effort to fight the Portuguese, Mwene Mvita and Kanga engaged in the greatest battle in Congo history, with nearly 900,000 men in the Congo army. The Battle of Mbuila was one of the bloodiest. Mwene Mvita Kanga lost his life there. He was beheaded, and his capital, Mbanza Congo, was destroyed and burned. The royal regalia were stolen by the Portuguese. See Congo people to avenge their Mwene Congo. The Congo people launched a second major battle shortly thereafter. Many Portuguese lost their lives. They were killed on all sides. The high priests of the Lemba or Nganga practitioners of Congo African spirituality threw all their spiritual power into the fight. Bees and mosquitoes were sent to strike down and kill the Portuguese in their homes, while some warriors transformed into lions, panthers, and leopards to slay them. Many Portuguese died, while others fled back to Portugal. In 1678, observing this new strength among the Congo people, the Portuguese devised a ruse to divide them. They incited two claimants to the throne, Ndom Petelo and Ndom Nzuawu. Each secretly received from the Portuguese a portion of the royal regalia that had been stolen from the palace during the destruction of Mbanza Congo. The Portuguese secretly supplied both men with weapons and let them fight for the throne. Consequently, the two Congo brothers and their respective factions waged war against one another, losing sight of their common enemy, the Portuguese. This left the Portuguese free to continue their nefarious activities, plundering wealth and selling Congo people into slavery in the Americas, as both factions supplied them with prisoners in exchange for weapons. Amidst this fraternal strife and the ever-worsening fragmentation of the Congo Mwene Congodom, Mama Mafuta, a great Congo prophetess, rose up in prayer from the village of Impozo to awaken the conscience of the Congo people. She would enter trances and preach in streets and markets, traveling vast distances from the Atlantic coast to the Batake Plateau, Nzaza, and Mumbu, present-day Kinshasa, in pursuit of her mission. Mama Mafuta's noble work sparked a great wave of spiritual awakening among the Congo people. Numerous centers of spiritual renewal emerged, all dedicated to prayer. The Congo people prayed to Tata and Zombi for the reunification of Congo Dia and Totela. It was during this awakening that even Congo individuals baptized by priests, those within the Christian church itself, began to pray for the Congo nation. This was the case with the Santo Antonio Christian Assembly, where Yaya Kimpa Mvita and her parents used to worship. Thus, Kimpa Mvita and the other brethren began holding prayer sessions. However, the priests of the congregation disapproved of this type of prayer and forbade it within the church. Driven by a desire to serve the homeland, Yaya Kimpa Mvita and the others left the congregation to establish their own prayer group, Dibundu Dia Congo. Yaya Kimpa Mvita, who had been baptized and given the name Dona Beatrice, known to the Congo people as Ndona, renounced both the baptism and the name,
as Dona Beatrice instead to be addressed by her birth name, Kimpa Mvita.
She established her congregation, Dibundu Dia Congo, atop Mount Ngumba Ngundi, near a forest.
Later, Mama Mafuta joined her, and together they united their two congregations.
Mama Mafuta handed over leadership of the new assembly to Yaya Kimpa Mvita, who was 22 at the time, whereas Mama Mafuta was 75. Mpungu, the Holy Spirit, or times Mwanda Verala, times visited them. They entered a trance and prophesied. One day, Yaya Kimpa Mvita fell gravely ill. Unable to be cured, she died and journeyed to the land of the dead times Simu Congo, the world of the ancestors. In this realm of peace and well-being, she met the great spirits who watch over the Congo, including the Congo Spirit, who instructed her on her mission for the nation. Mwanda Varela Congo Spirit charged her with the following tasks: to call upon the Congo people to restore unity, to rebuild Mbanza Congo, the holy city, not Jerusalem. The chosen people were black, to guide the Congo people to cease worshipping foreign gods and return to the times Nzila Congo times, the way of the Congo, and to ensure the appointment of a new Mwene Congo of the Congo. 3 days after her death, Yaya Kimpa Mvita returned to life just as she was being taken for burial. Upon waking, she immediately addressed those who had gathered for her funeral. The news spread like wildfire. People of the Congo came from far and wide to meet her and hear her message, for she had returned from times Simu Congo, from among the dead. Many Congo people returned to the times Dibundu Dia Congo, rejecting Christianity. Yaya Kimpa Mvita and Mama Mafuta settled in Mbanza Congo. Subsequently, many Congo people returned to settle in Mbanza Congo, building homes and other structures.
The capital was quickly rebuilt.
Over 2 years of work, from 1704 to 1706, Kimpa Mvita gained great renown throughout the divided kingdom of Congo. Seeing this, the priests traveled to various localities to meet with village chiefs 12-6 and urge them to forbid the Congo people from following Kimpa Mvita. Tensions erupted between supporters of Yaya Kimpa Mvita and those of the Christians. This led the priests to henceforth travel with armed Portuguese soldiers to kill any Congo who refused to be baptized. At the beginning of 1706, Yaya Kimpa Mvita went to retrieve the royal insignia given to him. In May 1706, Yaya Kimpa Mvita organized a meeting with 72 Mbuta Dia, Congo Dia, and Totela notables from different localities in Congo, who had accepted his invitation, in order to prepare for new elections. During this assembly, it was decided that Congo should be elected at the end of 1706. Thus, all claimants to the throne had 6 months to register with Yaya Kimpa Mvita. Then Yaya Kimpa Mvita and his disciples withdrew into the forest and entered into Kisombe for 40 days, that is, a 40-day fast, so that the end-of-year elections would take place under favorable conditions. Seeing their interests threatened, the Portuguese government, through Catholic priests based in Luanda, decided to intervene and kill Yaya Kimpa Mvita by any means necessary. It was then that the Portuguese mercenaries sent by Father Lorenzo de Luca surrounded the forest, found Yaya Kimpa Mvita, arrested her, and killed all the other disciples. To prevent any revolt by the followers, they took her by night to the royal palace of Nodome Petalo in Divulu, built by Catholic priests. There, Yaya Kimpa Mvita was tried in a tribunal presided over by Father Lorenzo de Luca and Father Bernardo de Gallo. Yaya Kimpa Mvita was tried at night and flogged all night. Then the priests said to her, Kimpa Mvita, if you tell the people to return to Christianity because your teachings come from darkness, we will let you go free. However,
If you refuse, we will burn you alive at the stake. What do you say? But Yaya Kimpa Mvita said nothing. Enraged by this silence, the priests flogged her and asked her the question again. When Yaya Kimpa Mvita still did not answer, they tortured her further.
finally, for the third time, Yaya Kimpa Mvita said, I accept death not because I am guilty of your accusations, but I accept death because this light that I have brought down among my people will never be extinguished. For before giving her answer, Yaya Kimpa Mvita saw. She saw in a vision how others such as Tata, Simon Kimbangu, Tata Matsua, and others would later take up the work she had begun, and how this mission would bear fruit by reunifying Congo Dia and Totela.
Her heart was comforted and filled with joy. Then, in a fit of rage, the two priests scourged her repeatedly and ordered the Congo Christians of Devulu to bring wood to burn Yaya Kimpa Mvita.
Thus, on the 2nd of July 1706, the Portuguese lit a great fire and cast Yaya Kimpa Mvita into it. Amidst her suffering, before breathing her last, Yaya Kimpa Mvita cried out loudly, Jesus, 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 Jesus. Behold the deeds of the times, Mindele. Times Christians who brought your name to the Congo. The times Mindele times claim you are their Lord and that you sent them to shed the blood of the Congo people. Then her soul left her body in the form of a brilliant light and ascended to heaven. Her voice could be heard within that light saying, Mwela Congo, Mwela Congo.
Bana ba Congo bena moyo, mamo malungane, malungane, malungane.
Meanwhile, in Banza, Congo, unaware of what was happening, Yaya Kimpa Mvita appeared to Mama Mafuta in a dream, who in turn informed the entire congregation. Nothing but weeping and sorrow filled Mbanza, Congo. We must know our history and cherish it by teaching it to our children in our schools, instead of learning nonsense stories about how Christopher Columbus discovered America.
Who gives a damn about that?
May Yaya Kimpa Mvita, the guardian angel of Congo Central, inspire us and show us the Nzila Congo, that is to say, the best path to reunite Congo with its spirituality. May Tata and Zambi, Wampungu, and the Bizinzi be a TSI guide and protect us.